Hey, what's up, losers?
You're a loser.
You are watching DC Unleashed. My name is Brian, and once again, I couldn't be bothered to put pants on, so we are doing this camera-free. I am so busy working on our third installment of the Superman documentary series on my main channel, and this last one is what I hope is a masterpiece, so go check that out when you get a chance. I'll put a link in the description. But that is not why you're here. You're here because we need to talk about Superman, specifically James Gunn's Superman that comes out this week in a couple days. And yes, I saw the movie. In fact, I saw it last night. And no, I'm not going to tell you how I feel about it. I'm gonna save that for Friday. On Friday, I will do a full-on spoiler review and I will be completely honest. I'll tell you if I hate the movie and what I hated about it. Or I'll tell you if I loved the movie and what I loved about it. And I'll tell you if it's just okay. But that will have to wait until Friday. Today, we need to talk about this ridiculous, hypocritical, almost coordinated effort to shut down a movie before it even has a chance to be seen by regular people. And just to be clear, I am not a James Gunn stan. I'm not a Snyder bro. I do like James Gunn movies, and I do like Zack Snyder movies. In fact, up until recently, I would have said I'm a Snyder fan. I've liked most of what he's done. I liked Watchmen, I liked 300, I liked Man of Steel, and I am on record saying I think the Zack Snyder Justice League cut is a masterpiece. It's an amazing 4 hours if you have 4 hours to spend watching a movie. That said, the relentless assassination attempt on this movie is insane, and we have to talk about it. We need to bring to light some of the absurd hypocrisy, and I need to explain to you exactly what is happening, because there are a lot of normal people that are buying into this sludge, and they're starting to think that maybe all the crap they're hearing online is true. Real quick though, if you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and on the way to the comment section to scream at me, do me a favor and like or dislike this video. I don't care, I'm not your dad. And I'm gonna try to keep this brief because I saw all the comments from the last video saying that I'm not Kevin Smith and I can't do a stream of consciousness. I can't just talk as much as I want to.
I thought it was gonna be awesome, man, and then I saw it and I was like, this is fucking 8 kinds of not awesome.
Just to be clear, guys, I don't make any money on this channel. I've never made a penny. I do this because I love Superman and I love the DCU. I grew up reading the comics, watching the cartoons, Christopher Reeve, Dean Cain, Tom Welling, Brandon Routh. Superman is my favorite character, and when it comes to DC versus Marvel, I'm a DC guy all the way. So let me just say this as plainly as possible. I don't think it's backlash. I don't think it's criticism. What we're seeing with this Superman isn't normal. The criticism, the multi-headed hit jobs, all the raving lunatics online complaining about every single word that comes out of James Gunn's mouth, every clip, every frame of trailer, every interview, everything. It's a hit job executed by 3 factions of what I think are some of the worst people in modern film discourse. Number 1, the Snyder cultist. The delusional people that can't let the Snyderverse go. They are so angry that the Snyderverse ended. They don't like the way it ended. They don't like some of the movies and the decisions that were made by the studio. They hate it, and they are hell-bent on maintaining this delusion that somehow Zack Snyder will come back and restore the Snyderverse. Guess what, guys? It ain't happening. I liked the movies too. I loved Man of Steel. I thought the Snyder cut of Justice League was a straight-up masterpiece. But they are not coming back, and that is not James Gunn's fault. If you want to blame someone, blame Zack Snyder. Blame Warner Brothers. Blame the executives who made really horrible decisions when it comes to the DCEU. They tried to copy Marvel and rush it, and when they rushed it, they failed. Man of Steel was a reaction to Nolan's Batman movies making billions of dollars. They were like, hey, we need a gritty, down-to-earth Superman just like Nolan did with Batman. So they asked Nolan if he would come and make Superman. Nolan said, hell no, but I'll produce it because I like the script. My friend wrote, it's pretty good. And he went went about trying to find a director that had the same vision that he thought would complement this new direction. So of course he reached out to Zack Snyder, who made Watchmen, and said, hey, this guy could do gritty superheroes. Here's the deal. Superman was never meant to be Batman. They are two sides of the same coin. One represents hope, the other represents fear, or whatever you want to call it, but the opposite of hope. They're not supposed to be the same, and it's okay. One can be inspiring, and one can strike fear in the hearts of criminals. The second group are the gun haters. There are people that just hate James Gunn. They've hated him forever. They've hated him since the MCU. They hate him for stuff he said on Twitter a million years ago. They hate everything about the guy. They hate his hair, his glasses. They hate the way he talks. They hate him. And they've joined forces with the Snyder people. The third and more insidious head to this monster of hypocrisy is the everything David Zaslav touches is evil entertainment journalist. These journos hate David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers. And I'll tell you why they hate him in just a second. But I need to make a couple quick points. So this movie has been getting jumped like it owes Twitter money. Every single day, every week, every trailer, every poster, every sentence Gunn says gets turned into some 30-minute hate reaction from people who think Superman died with Henry Cavill's mustache. There is a legit cult-like obsession around the Snyderverse. I'm not talking about regular Zack Snyder fans. I'm talking about this loud, small, unhinged, delusional Snyder cult that believes Warner Brothers is just one bad Gunn movie away from begging Zack Snyder to come back and finish his 37 apocalyptic saga where everyone wears leather and no one smiles. They are literally clinging to a dead franchise like it's a religion. I'm not exaggerating. These guys pray at the altar of Zack Snyder. It's weird, it's delusional, and I don't get it. Look, nothing is wrong with Zack Snyder's interpretation of Superman. I loved Man of Steel. I'll say it a 14th time. Superman's been reinvented 1,000 times before Snyder even picked up a camera. But these people actually believe that Snyder's version of Superman is somehow the correct version of Superman. But when you look at it objectively, it's not. And if you really care about the correct version of Superman, you would know that Zack Snyder's version of Superman is not remotely the comics accurate, 70-year franchise accurate version of the character. But if you point that out, they lose it. Suddenly you're a corporate shill or an NPC. You're getting paid to say these things. How much is Gunn paying you? Hey man, keep riding Gunn's dick, bro. They truly believe somehow, some way the Snyderverse is coming back, and every bit of good press or hope or any positive tweet for Superman 2025 is just standing in their way. It's insane. It's delusional. It's not remotely logical. All right, so now let's talk about these fart-sniffing entertainment journalists. These journalists, and I use that term pretty loosely, are treating this film like it's some kind of a personal attack. Variety couldn't resist slipping in a little passive-aggressive jabs in their Heads of State review. By the way, I saw Heads of State, and I liked it. Well, what Variety said was, it's no sillier than Superman, and a lot more entertaining. I don't know what kind of drive-by shade that is for a movie that hasn't even been released yet, but what a lot of people are leaving out of that review is that that same person hated Man of Steel. And then there's the Daily Beast. They wrote, a terrible new Superman movie is the final nail in the grave for the superhero genre. They published that early, before the embargo lifted, and then promptly deleted it because it was embargoed, and they know they screwed up. But of course, the damage was done. The quote got screenshotted, it got shared, it got turned into clickbait by every hate channel on YouTube, for every X and Twitter account out there just to complain nonstop about this movie, confirming their insanity. The crazy thing about it is the Daily Beast made a massive mistake. But I'm gonna say mistake in quotes because I think they did it on purpose. They wanted to dominate the narrative for the next couple days. They probably weighed the profit and loss statement and said, hey, we can get a lot of views in a short period of time, and worst case scenario, we piss off Warner Brothers. I think they'll be blacklisted. Regardless, it just proves that these people hate Warner Brothers. They downgrade Warner Brothers stock every chance they get. They complain nonstop about David Zaslav. The fact that these reviews, let me call them what they are, these hit pieces are part of the same machine that's been trying to kill superhero films since Avengers Endgame is not a coincidence. It's trendy for these fart-sniffing losers to hate everything capes, especially if David Zaslav's name is attached. So let's talk about the David Zaslav hate. Now look, I'm not gonna try to convince you that David Zaslav is the right guy for the job. He's made some controversial decisions, for sure. But you know what else is true? The entire film ecosystem hates him with a burning passion because he doesn't coddle creatives. He cuts projects. He canceled Batgirl. He tells critics to go piss off. He doesn't bow down to the entertainment journalist. And more importantly, he fired a ton of people in that Warner Discovery merger. A ton of people that are now working for other entertainment companies and media outlets. So now everything DC Studios touches gets framed like some kind of corporate hostage situation. Look, man, this isn't about art versus commerce. It's grudge reporting straight up. It's personal and it's poisoning the conversation. It's yet another reason not to trust these fake reviewers, these professional shills that will say anything is good because they're being given a paycheck or they're being flown out to Dubai and they're being fed caviar and they're hanging out with the actors and the directors. Of course, they're going to say good things. And that goes for this movie too. Don't get it twisted. I completely understand that some reviewers out there talking about how great the movie is the first 30 minutes might just be saying that because they got treated like rock stars. But you have to understand that's been happening for a long time. And the journalists out there that are working for these media rags that just hate anything that has to do with David Zaslav, think about what they say when they don't get the invite. Because David Zaslav would rather invite a bunch of TikTokers and YouTubers than Variety. So here's the reality. And again, I've seen the movie and I refuse to tell you until Friday what I think about it. I'm not just saying that so you come back on Friday. I don't want to ruin your experience. I don't want to taint the waters. I don't want to set the bar. I want you to have a fresh experience when going to watch this movie or not watching it. I don't care. So I'm not going to share my views until Friday. But I'm telling you right now, I've seen it. I have opinions about it. Those opinions could be negative or positive, but they will be honest. I think it's fair that there are fans who are cautiously optimistic. The cast is strong. The tone feels classic. We want Superman back. The character that is Superman deserves better. Better fans, better discourse, better faith. The character stands for truth and hope. It's not just a comic book icon. He's the comic book icon. He is the American legend. And if we let this movie get buried under bad faith, tribal nonsense, and media pettiness, we're not failing James Gunn or Zack Snyder or Warner Brothers. We are failing Superman. So I urge you to actually go and give this movie a shot. Go to the matinee. Use your AMC movie club or whatever it is. But watch the movie. Think for yourself. Make a decision for yourself. And if you love it, and I truly hope you do, I urge you to talk about it. Encourage other people that might have bought this critical sludge that is everywhere. And maybe they'll enjoy it. And they'll talk about it. Or not. But let's be honest about it. Superman deserves better.
And there's a lot more to come. Those first 30 minutes are just the tip.
I could feel that the footage was too
iceberg,
limited.
the iceberg.
So, yeah.
That's it, my friends. Please do me a favor and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit the like button on the way to the comment section to scream at me in Snyder voices. Or whatever you want to do. I don't care. I'm not your dad, but I am your friend. I hope you enjoy the movie this week, and I'll see you on Friday. Stay super, my friends.
Crypto, ow, ow, stop it, stop, sit, stay.